Good morning. How you doing? All's well?
Okay, how about you?
Not bad for old guy.
All right.
All right, thank you. Going into the vault.
Yeah.
I thought by now they have the retinal eye scanner
That's right.
and the fingerprints, biometrics.
Well, the metal detector.
Right. I think it's at the front door. Okay.
We might get to that point.
Yeah?
Not us. No, not us, but
The way things going,
in
man.
general. I'm just saying. You know, I saw a clip of a lady. I couldn't tell. She looked like she. I mean, I didn't see her, but she was, had a day off or something, and it was just kind of put a blanket down somewhere in the park, somewhere, and just was going to read, and some perpetrator came up to her. Now, I didn't hear all of it, just a clip of it, but she started filming it. Something he started doing something, then she started filming, and that's been one great thing. And the only reason he left was because she was filming.
Right.
And apparently he's a comedian or something somewhere.
Right.
And somebody noticed him and said, "That's so and so," and got a wife, and he was coming on to her, and but maybe more because she saw another man lurking. So, oh God! And this girl was sounding like she was in her, who knows, late 20s, early 30s, something like that. And can't even go and take a day off in a park.
Can't do it. Well, there's two guys, 78 and 68, two older gentlemen went to the park in Houston just to sit down and talk. A young guy walked up and shot both of them, killed them.
And did what?
Just walked up and killed two old guys in Houston at the park.
Oh God, that sounds.
That used to be a safe haven where you can go and relax and not think about your daily work or whatever going on. You can smell nature. Now you have to go out there with your pistol. So why go?
I don't know much about. I should maybe know more about laws about guns and stuff like that. But I mean, if somebody's kind of giving you a hard time, and you feel, sort of threatenish, if you pull a gun and say you need to back off, I mean, is that are you in trouble now?
Use the imminent fear of danger.
I know it's imminent risk.
Right.
Or imminent danger.
Danger.
Yeah.
I perceive danger, and I don't have to wait till I'm dead for me to perceive the danger.
And those are the key words.
Right. It's your reasonable fear, not mine. It's yours.
That's true.
If the average person could
Of course,
say,
he hadn't done anything because he was just standing there. But
most people don't do anything till they done it.
Huh?
They don't do anything till it's already done.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So, that she luckily was pretty aggressive with him and said, "Back off! You need to get the heck out of here."
she brought attention to the situation, which a lot of times people don't want.
That's true too.
Yeah, they don't want.
That's
They don't
true,
want to
too.
be recognized.
That's okay. But he got, and you look him up, and he's. Okay, I guess a comedian supposedly. Nobody really knows. Maybe a local guy in California, or something like that.
But that's not good for your career, or it could be good, depending on how people perceive things these days.
Well, hopefully the business will be done. She said, "Make this go viral." So.
Yeah, they broke into some of my family down in Florida. The friends, they broke into their house, like 10 girls, to beat up a girl who stopped them from beating up another girl. And the police came there and said, "We can't do nothing about this because we got to take everybody to jail." And she's like, "Take everybody." They broke in my house.
Oh
He was like,
God.
"You know
You
what?
gotta prove it or what? I mean, if you don't have
If I'd have
proof-
shot them, would that have proved this?" Then a week before that, they was at the bowling alley, and a little young lady, she's 15, her mother's from Panama, Central America. Her husband, boyfriend got a separation because she got on drugs. He ended up getting custody of the child, which he doesn't take care of. My friend does, who got the baby, and her mother. And
Come
so
on.
they want to pick on on my little girl Lily because she's smart in school. She doesn't bother anybody. She's long, tall,
yeah, she's smart.
and she comes to school dressed in. She's nice, so they want to jump on her. She said, "I'm not bothering you. Just leave me alone." She goes somewhere else. They wait outside the classroom. Told the principal at the school. Lily's 13, going on 14. No, she's 14, and told the principal at the school who said we can't do nothing until something happens.
That's with the police too, though. You can't call the police and say, I think this might happen. You know,
they jumped on her. They actually physically attacked her. So they have to go down to the prosecutor's office this morning. I wrote a paper, so she go down to the prosecutor's office and put in a restraining order.
Right.
And,
there you go.
You know, stay away from me. If you come near me, we can take you to jail. We not.
Good.
You know, it's getting worse and worse.
The trauma's already happened.
Yeah, they've been doing this all year, so she's not going to school next year. Instead of her seeing her formative years of going to school, she's going to do online just to stay safe.
I think that's a mistake. I think that is a huge mistake.
I'm
sorry. I think that's.
She said because the school won't do anything about it, and they got a bulletin policy where they supposed to kick you out of school, put you in detention. They haven't done any of that.
Well, put the other kids online.
That part, you know, make it make sense.
Horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
And she doesn't. She's a great student, grade A student, great athlete.
See, that's just wrong.
Yeah, so she's getting PTS at an early age, and she's not getting help from the people that's supposed to help her. She said, "Well, I told the principal, and he said nothing." I said, "What? Nothing?"
No, wasn't a witness somewhere?
Yeah, the girls who did it. They say they did it.
They said they did it?
Self-incrimination. They say they did it.
Oh my God.
Well, you know, we'll just let them try. They're kids. What do you mean they're kids?
Oh my
Kids
God.
kill too. I don't know if
I don't know what's happening to people's brains. I'm just flabbergasted at the lengths people will go.
They went to this people's house.
Huh?
Went to these people's house. The girl opened the door, and they bum rushed 10 girls, ages 14 to 19. She's only 14.
Oh my God.
And police wouldn't do anything. So I told him to go this morning to the district attorney's office, file a report. If he doesn't do anything, you got it in case they come again. You have to actually hurt someone. You got it. I went to you. You failed to help me.
Yeah.
Get it documented. And
Yes.
after that, take it down to Channel 12 News in Tampa and tell them you're trying to get help. Can you help me with this before something escalates?
Yeah.
A life, you can't give a life back once it's gone. So now she's up in Georgia trying to relax for school start in 2 weeks. I feel so sad. I don't have time to go walk out of class and go around. I mean, I say if I could, I would, but your dad needs to step up to the plate. You know what I mean? He needs to be more vocal, But he's in his own world.
It's just such we have a major problem. Well, some people are just, their brains have gone, I don't know where, to putty.
I think anybody like that has that kind of tendencies, put them in the military. Oh, we like you for the military. I think it'll cut it down.
You can't do that. I mean, you can't tell them where to go.
I know.
But,
No, I'm saying. Yeah, but the judge can, because they do these alternative punishments.
That's true. That would be a
right.
punishment.
You're going to the military, and you're going to be in infantry on the front line. Since you're a great fighter, so what? We can stop there.
Yeah, that's a good. That's funny.
I had a whole squad of people like that.
Funny.
They came in the military like that because they had to either go to the military or go to jail. So I had to train these guys. And when they got to see that, it's an alternate method or way of living your life instead of going to jail, and you can make money, do something not only for you but for your family, some of them turned around. I had 2 or 3 that didn't. They just was ingrained. I just want to be a mobster. I'm from Boston. So I'm going to be a mobster. I can make more money than you can make, Sarge. How much money do you make? I say, but I'm not going to jail. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in my family, we have to do what I said. You got pressure from your family. I understand. Who pressures their child to be a criminal? You got to take with the family business.
Yeah, it's a business.
Right. So that's I had got online and told them I couldn't make it because I had to get to Florida, so I had to go to Florida.
Yeah, it didn't show up, and did you do it 24 hours? See, I'm glad you mentioned that. See, 24 hours ahead for an 8 o'clock people is going to be before 8 o'clock for you, before 8 o'clock on Friday.
Right. Before 8 o'clock on Friday?
Yeah, because
right.
8 o'clock is, the day before.
I think I did it on Saturday. I had to fly.
That doesn't show.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I ain't want to call you.
Bill, but we can.
It's okay. It's all right.
No.
I'm rich.
Because.
Yeah, but yeah.
No, but no, it's 24 hours or more, which for you.
It won't be weekends. It'd have to be Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's we don't. If they get it on Friday morning by 8, they can put somebody else in there that wants to come in. And I do have people that they might be monthly or every 3 weeks.
Right.
Or so, and I'll poke them in cancellations, and that's how they can't.
It's all right. Tell them I'll pay for them if I need to.
So 24 hours for you is Friday, whatever, great. So that puts it at Thursday night or really early Friday.
Right.
So,
I'm good.
And it time stamps, so
yeah,
just so you know. I was worried about you because he didn't show up.
Right, but she had told me, say, sometime, Preston, we be gone. What her name? The young Angel? The new lady. Angel. Yeah, she said sometime.
No, Angel's the other one. Jack is the thin, petite person, and Angel is the,
She the one moved in first.
And more.
That's the one that helped move in.
That's right.
Right, that's Angel. So she told me, say,
yeah.
I missed it because I was gone and the other guy was gone. I said, okay, but I had to get to Florida, so I'm fly down, fly back.
Wow. Everything all right?
Yeah, it's good. I got a couple things on the plate going on. Family. Probate, real estate.
That word makes me.
They've been holding me up for 20 years just to get the taxes, which I don't pay taxes because I'm a disabled vet. But I've been paying them. I want my money back. Plus the fact I got me and my brother, 2 sisters. We got to get it sold. Let's get it over with so we can go on about our lives. And the court has been stalling it, so I had to go to a higher court. And we'll see. So I had to take care of some things.
Did you have fun though? Somewhere in there, like nice?
Sure. Flying on the plane, so I can tell me the plane delayed for 3 hours because of a rainstorm, probably a hurricane coming in Florida, on the runway, and
Oh, you had 3 hours on the runway?
We was at the airport. We couldn't get on.
The airport.
I was supposed to leave. Couldn't leave because of the rain. Then when I got to leave from here, it rained here in Richmond. I got to Florida, which was supposed to be dry. It rained on the way coming back, so I stayed there for 3 hours.
Must have been Friday afternoon?
Friday.
What, Friday morning?
Friday afternoon. I got on the plane at 2 o'clock.
Yeah. I guess.
So they said, well, the flight is now leaving at 6. 6?
Oh,
man.
That stinks.
Yeah.
That's why if you have a wedding or something or a funeral,
2 days before, I suggest you.
Day before.
Or 2 days before, just because I flew to Las Vegas. I had to stay in a different hotel for about a day and a half because the planes were messed up. I was Frontier Airlines. I never forget that. Then they asked me did I want a refund, but I had to get back home, so I can't take a refund because I need to get back to Virginia. So I finally got back. It's not like it used to. It used to be they would give you a ticket, so they gave me like a half price ticket or something.
Oh, okay. Well, something,
The inconvenience.
Yeah, because then people want to get upset. Like, look out the window. We have no. So we're gonna put you up there. Good luck. You may get there, you may not.
Right.
Come on, people. And people, it just people are crazy. I mean, as far as
they showing on
blaming the airline because they're gonna keep us safe.
They are showing a lot of clips while I was at the airport by people who are arguing what not to do. People were arguing. One guy was making noise. I'm supposed to be at such and such. So you can catch another flight, another carrier.
Yeah.
And they was trying to defuse it. He just got worse, so they ended up taking him to jail. So
Yeah.
lately, then one guy said he had some kind of bomb or liquid stuff. So people are just really not patient these days.
They're not.
That's why I used to love to just drive by myself. I could take time and drive. There's no rush, but it's too long now. It's like 12 hours. I used to do it all the time, but now it's 12 hours. That's a day going, a day coming back.
Yes.
I don't have time like that.
More than a day.
Yeah.
Be technical with 8 hours being a day.
Yeah, I don't have time like that. So.
That's just nuts.
Yeah.
What'd you fly?
Southwest.
Okay.
And they're not. They've gotten worse. It used to be because military, we didn't pay for bags. Now you have to pay for bags.
Oh, really?
They weigh them too. So if it's over a certain limit, you can end up paying $100, $200 for a bag.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I only paid $35 going, $35 coming.
But you can still have one on. You can still have one that goes over the thing, right?
Yeah.
Free.
So what you do is take a little small one like the air stewardess and they get us on for free. But I had to take, got
So
books.
if you have a backpack.
You can take that.
and then a bag to put over.
They're gonna charge you for one.
So it's one. How about people in their purses?
Depends on the size of the purse. Because, you know, some ladies got purses like this. And I'm like, they're like a tool bag.
Yeah, no.
They make them put it on the seat.
Yeah.
They was kind of flexible with this.
Yeah.
My luggage was like this, you know, because I didn't know what was going to happen when I got there. So I said, next time I'm going, it's going to be like this, and I just get clothes when I get to Florida. They put all them on. Like I seen people at the airport put on 2 or 3 sets of clothes, then get on the plane.
Do what?
They take their clothes off to put them on, because when they wear them, it was like $170. They were like $100. Yeah, you can take off these 4. So they put the jacket on till they get on plane, then take it off.
Take it out of their bag?
You have to take it off right there, or pay. Either you can pay or take it out. You have to see how many people just taking it out. Hey, get this, and air travel is not what it used to be. Pan Am, Continental.
I saw a clip of somebody with, it's called a hack. You know, a hack. You hack where you. How did she do it? She had her bag kind of on the thing. I guess she's standing up. She had her bag on the thing, and she just kind of lifted it up with her foot as far as the weight.
Oh, for the scale? It must be, because those bags are kind of heavy, because usually when I travel with my books, I think I end up paying $170 going and $160 coming back.
Smart for you to take that in a backpack.
I did.
Oh.
I had my laptop, but I was going to go down for a while, and I didn't want to drive, so I took everything I had so I could study in case I needed it.
That is the one big thing, take everything you want.
You take everything in the car, but I'm good. So I said I don't want to do any travel for a while. It's not.
That'll take it out of you.
Yeah, I have the clear and the TSA, but when I got there, my clear had expired, so I was gonna pay for it, $209, but I couldn't do it, so I have to call them. So I got on the phone to call them. I stayed on the phone for about 2 hours in New York. They never answered the phone, so I got to go out to. They used to have an office right here in Richmond. They don't move the offices with the budget cuts. So I can go there and pay for it where you just walk facial recognition. So that put me in line for a while. I just like to walk through and keep going.
Gotcha. Well, did you see anybody this morning?
What's that? Over here?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I see with friends over. They were sitting down talking about work they got to go do, and politics. So I kind of like, I just got something to drink and eat. It's Monday, man. Come on, let's wait to hump day Wednesday.
Yeah.
But everybody got because Medicare got cut.
But people don't read. People, like, I would never argue anything because I haven't read it.
You got to have facts,
Thank you.
not your opinion.
Now, there's a lady, I saw another clip of a lady, I saved it because I didn't have time. But she said, I read the thing.
The bill.
Yeah. And this is what it says.
Right.
And I've saved it, but I didn't look at it yet. But I've heard some things that I guess are facts are saying that they read it.
Yeah, I usually, when I go to DC.
I mean, no taxes on Social Security as a senior? You dang on right.
That's good. But they missed one thing. I get Social Security. They took my money without a due process hearing. And when I didn't get my check, I was supposed to get $1,500 a month, Social Security. I got $500 a month.
Oh.
Where's my money? No one wants to give me what is called a Freedom of Information Act request. I have to go to D.C. tomorrow to the congressman's office and 2 senators, Kane and Warner. I'm like, where's my money? I mean, they've been taking my money and I haven't got, you have to notify me, I have to have a hearing. None of this transpired. Where's my money go? That's my money. I earned that in the military. And I have yet to get a response. So they sent me, the school, law school, showed me how Donald Trump wrote an executive order saying that what that is, if they do that, it's illegal. So I called the White House today, when I get through with you, to get an appointment with the VP office or President Trump for President Inquiry. Where's my money? That's fraud. You can't just take my money. I earned this.
Yeah.
I'm getting $500. I just got a check for $500 when it's supposed to be $1,500 for the last 20 years. But I only was getting $500. I never, because I was like, well, am I supposed to be getting more than this? Miss Valerie, I'm telling you, I got it on my phone. It showed, I say, Social Security $500. Then I looked at the paper, it's supposed to be $1,696 a month. So you go all the way back to 2013, now that's 12 years. In order to take Social Security, which is an administrative agency, they have to go by the law. They just can't make arbitrary,
yeah.
and they have to give you a hearing.
Yeah, okay.
I never got none of that. I was never notified. I always write to them by email and say, send me something by email.
Yeah.
Never responded. So I have to see if I can get Congress
Wow.
to look at it, because you don't tuck, they don't tuck about 52, I think it's $52,000 from me.
Oh my God.
Social Security. My Chase bank account, I say 500. What's that for? They say that's Social Security. I called them and said, you're supposed to be getting like, I went down and got a paper, you're supposed to be getting like $1,700 a month. Since I got out, I got Social Security back in 2000. I think it was 2000. I think 2013 they decreased it, but I don't pay attention because Social Security gonna pay me. So I happened to go back and look, and I was like, wait a minute, something wrong. What happened to my money? No one can tell me it's Social Security. They can't give me any paperwork, which you can actually take to someone and show them. So I have to go to get to Congress. Mr. Kane, Mr. Warner, and Miss whatever name, Miss McCormick, whatever name, the lady, the representative. Can you tell me where's my money as a veteran? I just want to know what happened to my money, because you can't take my money without. And if I'm donating to a charity, I would like to know who I'm donating to. And it has to be with my authorization. I gave you none of that.
Whoa.
So I was seeing they was talking about on the law. We have a law thing that comes on. They was saying about that big bill. They're gonna cut down Medicare for those who don't have it already. They might not be able to get the benefits as those that are grandfathered in. But I've been on Medicare. Right. They take. Huh? I gotta when I get through reading the bill, I gotta finish reading it.
Please say a year and a half.
Right. Because they are taking it because they don't have enough money. They are bankrupt. They've been borrowing money from Social Security, which was never supposed to be done.
Spending in this country.
They were giving it to people overseas. I'm like, you can't do that. They've been taking money out of Social Security for about 30 illegally.
This is basic.
It was never supposed to be touched. Never supposed to be touched, Social Security. But they was borrowing money from Social Security. We need extra money. Let's go to Social Security. We'll pay it back. But they never paid it back. Once they got in.
I have no words for this kind of.
They had asked me about 20-something years. You want to get Social Security? I said, of course. Well, you can wait. I said, no. Give me all my money now, because something might happen. And I went ahead and I
hear it, yeah.
And they gave it to me. The judge in
Yeah.
Florida gave it to me, and disability. Then all of a sudden, I'm just like, I never pay attention there. I was like, I'm just gonna let it save. And then I looked at it every now and then. I was like, why am I getting 500? It's not. And the lady said, you supposed to be getting 1,700. I said, well, ma'am, I'm not getting it. Look, this is what it says at Chase Bank. She like, well, you need to make a complaint to the IG, which I did. Never responded to me. So tomorrow I'll be up in D.C.
Tomorrow you go to D.C.?
Yeah, I have to, because my money. And I'm gonna go.
I know, but where?
I have to go to Senator Warner's office, Senator Kane, Senator McCormick. Huh? Yeah, you can just show up. I've done it before. You can just show up. They'll give you a piece of paper. They give you what is called a waiver. They give you a waiver to authorize them to look into your business for you, because you got to get them permission.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna get them authorization in person. They go give me a copy. I want a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act request. Where's my money? Who authorized this, and where's it going? I would like for you to give it back to me, please. I earned this. It's not free to me. If you say you put it in the bill to go to Ukraine, I want my money back. If you have to give me a missile to put in my backyard, I want my money. So that's tomorrow for me. So God's willing. Go by the lawyers, the American Bar Association, to get an attorney for me with this.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's illegal what they're doing. I know it's illegal. I read the papers in it. And the people at the office told me Social Security here on Broad say, you never got a hearing? Would I be here if I had a hearing? I would have appealed it to the court. I got enough sense to do this.
Did you not think before that this wasn't right?
No. I'm not paying attention to it, because I've been getting money for so long from the government. I trust my government. When I was seeing my money going to the bank, I saved certain money in case for a hedge, in case something happened down the road. I got money going to certain places. But when I went to, let me go check on what's going on, because I'm getting a little older now, see what I got, so in case I want to buy something. And I was like, 510? What's that from? That's a strange amount. It was like, that's what we're giving you for Social Security. I said, who's giving me for Social Security? The U.S. government? Because when you get out of the military, they show you how much you're making, what you're supposed to be getting. It does not match up with what I'm supposed to be getting. So I wrote a letter to complain about it. They didn't write back, so I'm going to Senator Kane and Senator Warner's. They're in two different. I think they're in two different buildings. One of them is in the Warner building. One is another building. But I'm gonna go there tomorrow.
So you're each one separately?
Yeah, you go to all three. I'm going to all the Congress lady and the two senators. And I'm asking the White House, can I get a presidential inquiry? Where's my money? Because President Trump seemed to be real on that thing about it. Somebody take your money.
Yeah.
I think he would help me.
Uh-huh.
And if I have to, I'm going to stand in front of the White House doing a demonstration through the National Park Service.
Uh-huh.
They've taken my money illegally. I'd like to know where it went. If I was Ukraine, I probably could get this, but I'm not Ukraine. I'm just pressing. So that's my next thing. So pray for me. Amen. Appreciate it.
Wow. Speaking of which, I haven't heard, you don't hear like a drop of what's going on in Ukraine these days. Why don't we hear anything?
President Trump is the president. Remember, last time he met with Zelensky.
But why don't we hear what's going on?
They blowing each other up. They just blew up a Russian airfield, the pipeline, the gas. They killed a couple of people. They assassinated a couple of people in Russia. The general who had did an attack against Ukraine and killed a lot of people, they went to Russia and killed him. They smuggling drones into Russia, Ukrainians, through some kind of method, because they must be got people already there, and they're helping them. They're attacking Russia from inside. And Putin say he used 2 hypersonic missiles that travel like 36,000 miles per second and blew up a lot of stuff in Ukraine. So it killed a lot of people. So you know,
oh my God,
and we got they're taking people from the Sudan.
Evil.
Evil. They're recruiting people to go fight for Russia from other countries, and
What?
they just got from Sudanese soldiers just got captured. Some people from the Congo, and they say they went over to go do some kind of humanitarian aid for Russia. They ended up on the front line, got captured. So now Ukraine is parading them to the world. This is what they're doing to our countries: genocide. United Nations Security Council is going to listen to Putin, but of course they can't do nothing to Russia because he's a superpower.
Sorry.
But they don't know which. He has body doubles, people that look like him everywhere he goes.
Evil.
how,
Seriously.
how can you tell somebody else how to run their own house?
Yeah, right. Right.
I used to, that was a conflict in war too, and being in the military, you know, like, but what is we doing? Is this right? I mean, I swore to the Constitution, to the President of the United States, and to defend the homeland, but is this what we're doing is right? We had a lot of moral conflicts would come up. Is this what we're doing actually? You know, especially people that went to church. We would get together and talk like, you know, God said do not kill, but you can defend yourself. Are we actually defending ourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, when we go to someone else's country. Defense meaning you at your home and someone comes to you.
Yeah.
But defense now has been spread out that we have to go to stop them from getting us.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So what's the right answer?
Yeah. What when you got out, what was going on? Because you're studying, you're doing all kinds of stuff. So what was it that, I mean, is there not I hate to say this, but is it not like a desk job you would have done?
Me?
Yeah.
In the military?
Uh-huh.
No, I was getting shot at.
No, I know.
When I got out, what did I do?
When you got out, did you not think about doing a desk job or do something in the military that wasn't on the front line if you were able?
I didn't want to see nothing with the military. I've seen too much carnage, collateral damage, people who are not supposed to get hurt getting hurt.
Uh-huh.
I've seen so much, and at that time I needed a break. I need to step back.
Okay.
You know, I need to put my telescopic lens on something more humane.
Okay.
You know, I've seen. So I kind of like I said, my family got businesses, funeral homes, and real estate. So
No, but I just didn't know. If
I didn't.
something you wanted to still be involved in, but you just didn't. You just wanted a break from.
No, I took a break, and then eventually I worked for a computer science corporation. I'm a computer engineer by trade. I worked with Apple and NASA and all that. And then I was done. 20, around 2000. Yeah, 2000. My mother got sick, 1999, and I just retired. But I didn't want to carry a weapon. I didn't want to shoot. None of
But
that.
I'm at a desk job.
None of that.
I mean, something.
I didn't want to do anything. I think I had burnout. I think I was burnout.
Okay.
You get up in the morning
How many
time,
years?
8.5. Get up every morning, 3 o'clock, run, PT, duty, check on people who are not your children. You got to treat them like your kids because they act like kids. Then you might be on a plane somewhere to another part of the world to go shoot at somebody or get shot at. Come back home, you don't have your check because they made a mistake on it. You got to go fight them. You know, it just, after a while, I was like, you know, December 21st, 1983, I came on from Panama, Central America, to Charleston Air Force Base, and went home.
How did that happen?
What you mean?
Well, how did you get out? That you made it sound like it was quick.
Well, it's called ETS. They run you through it's called RAMP, Rapid Access Military Process. You go to a desk, you give them paper. It's called clearing. They stamp your paper. You got no weapons. You get debriefed. You can't talk about this, and this. You know, it's just like any other job, like you retire. You know, that's all. And then when I
mean, was your contract up?
Yeah, 8.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that what your contract was in the beginning? 8.5?
It was 4.
4. You did 4 at a time, basically?
You re-enlist for 4, get $20,000, re-enlist again. They give you 20 or whatever. But at this time, on my DD-214, it says extension of service for the convenience of the United States government. They made me stay when my time was to go home.
Oh.
They made me
stay.
They made me stay several times because they had a war at Grenada. 1982, we had Mogadishu, Somalia. You know, Sarge, you got this MOS that with a weapon, we're going to keep you. I said, well, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be going home. I mean, I told them, unfortunately, you can't go. That's when you have, on the DD-214, on all of my DD-214, extension of service for the convenience of the United States government. But yet you can't pay me?
They didn't pay you?
No, I'm just saying, when you get out for the VA, you fight in the Department of VA. I'm like, you know they extended me, right? That I could have died because of the extra time I spent when I had already made it home safe? Yeah. And you're going to give me a problem about a check? That's my why. I look at my DD-214s and I don't hang them on the wall, then you just look at them and just say that little block at the bottom. We extended you without your permission because you signed a contract that you're going to fight for the government. Yeah. I'm like, but I'm supposed to be going home. Not today, you're not.
No.
My wife at the time, she couldn't. She was like, I'm done, son. She went back to Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We talked. She in Florida. She said that we stayed on the base with monkeys running across, all kind of stuff, you know. And
You what?
Monkeys. I was in the jungle, stationed in the jungle in Panama, Central America. Called Panama, Central America. Fort Sherman, Fort Amador, Fort Clayton.
What did she do while you were doing your thing?
Got depressed. Had to come back home to America. There was nothing to do.
She wasn't doing anything. Well, that's what I'm saying. She wasn't doing anything.
It was nothing. Well, she was going out of town, but you had to be safe, though. Because they had, it was the time during the Sandinistas, the Contras. They was having attacks. So we was in Central America. You got Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Belize, Costa Rica, and Panama right there together. There's a lot of fighting and conflicts. That's when Ronald Reagan and Bush Sr., who was in charge of the CIA, was bringing drugs from there over here. So it was a lot of turmoil in the country, which I didn't mind. So she went back to America.
You know, I'm just sitting here realizing something. Wow, this is kind of about mentioning Reagan and all that.
1980.
Back in the day, people kind of aspired, I think, to be president.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the last, Trump didn't want to be president. He said all through his career.
He just ran.
He didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
In fact, they have a tape of him on Oprah. You've probably seen it.
Yeah, way back when she did the interview.
Like in 1980, whatever, they were friends. Oh yeah, he was friends with Bill Clinton,
a lot
Hillary
of people.
Clinton, Oprah.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else. But
he gave them money.
He
gave them millions of dollars.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
didn't know that. Well, he was a Democrat.
Right.
And I think he leaned that way.
He's not a Republican. He's just independent.
He's not.
He's independent. He used MAGA for
really
independent.
is.
He's independent.
He's independent. But anyway, so what I'm thinking right as I sit here is, Biden's been in forever, being, that's, what I mean, doing
40, 70 years, something like that.
Stuff. But then you get this, and Kamala was she before?
She was a senator. A senator.
She was a senator. Okay. But I guess my point is that I just, you don't. Sometimes you see names that are bigger that come about that look like they're looking to want to do that, get there. And I don't know if you see that anymore. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that.
Well, now I think.
I don't think Kamala had any idea of being vice president. She didn't have that on her wish list or her plate.
They chose her because she was the most vote getter out of the rest of them. So we're gonna take one.
You're not telling me what gender and other. Come on. I mean, it's so obvious. But anyway, so obvious. But that ticks me off because it doesn't have a side to this opinion, but just don't play around with me. Like we're not well. I'm average intelligence or better maybe, but we're supposed to be like we're stupid.
3-card mother.
Stupid. Like I see right through your crap. A lot of people don't. They just face value. And that's what they go for.
Yeah, give me facts.
Anyway, listen.
Give me facts.
Get off that. Yeah,
F-A-C-T-S. My mother's school teacher. Give me facts. What's your facts?
There you go.
If you go, I don't think this is gonna be good. But these are my facts, so they're not. It's we live in a world.
Headlines.
We see. I think I got a different perspective. I think my worldview was shaped by a lot of things. The military, my mother and father being together till they died. Had a strong family unit. I worked for Congressman Bill Nelson out of Florida as a congressional aide back in the day. I had a chance to be FFA, so I got to see a wide spectrum of the world and the view. And I think everyone is equal. They demand dignity, respect, and I try not to look down or do anything to people. But when it's done to you, you want to tell people that's not how it says. We go to Genesis 1:27. All is made in the image of God, M-A-J-O-D. Yeah. And so when you come to thinking about what's going around you, I look at it a different lens. I don't just say, it got to be this, it got to be. I want to see what's actually there before I come up with a decision. Because a lot of times you end up, that's why people become radicalized. It got to be this way because I heard somebody else say it that way. No, what do you think? So.
I don't know. It's out of control. It's absolutely
It's not over. It's not going to get better.
It is out of control. These kids, you can put a microphone in front and say, why are you protesting? Well, they can't explain it.
Tom is out here with me. Tom is here with me. Well, why is Tom out here? Well, we just came out because everybody else was out here.
They want to be angry and protest. Right?
VCU right now, I always get on my phone. They still give me the alerts. We got a public demonstration.
Who?
At VCU, they have the public demonstration. They took a couple people to jail.
Yeah.
I think Governor Norton they prosecuted a couple of them. They wouldn't leave. And the Palestinians against Israel thing is going on. Jeez. They do it all the time. And I'm like, why you? Well, we just coming out because they're doing it. They give us your text.
I didn't even know. Can you give me the history here? What's going on?
Yeah, they can.
I mean, I can't even I can do a little. I know it's land. I know part of it's land.
Human Rights Watch. Do you ever? I get that for the law school. The Human Rights Watch is an organization that tell how democracy has been increasing or decreasing, what human rights violations have been going on for the last 40 years. I just wrote a paper on them, and they was talking about, they did a comparison and contrast with how Israel is treated compared to the Palestinians. On this side, Israel, because they are a Zionist state, Palestinians, Arabic, they put down that they own the land, which they took, but of course the biblical view, God gave it to them. These people saying you took our land, so now, but yet you in charge. You are the minority, but yet you the majority. The Palestinians are the majority, but yet they're the minority when it comes to governance. They want to govern themselves. So in other words, United Nations says in 1948, with the United Declaration of Human Rights, which says we got rights and dignity for everybody, these are the rights we're going to look at. And if you don't violate these rights, United Nations Security Council is going to punish you by either trade, embargo, diplomatic, whatever. Israel is getting the best of the deal. Palestinians is not getting the best of the deal. That's what they're fighting for. We want equal status. We don't want to be subservient to these people who have sovereignty. Israel is a sovereign nation. Palestinians is just there. But they was there first. So who do you Then you see the Nation of Islam on the street. These guys out there on the corner selling stuff on Saturday, Sunday. What? They're for Palestine. You know, everybody they hate Israel. So, have you ever been to Israel? No. So how do you know what's actually going on? Well, I read it. Okay. Peer-reviewed research, or you just got that from someone?
Right.
I'm like, no, I just heard.
Yeah. It's. Yeah.
You can't get. That's why I don't get. I try not to get in no conversation with the people. Me personally, I was in the military and I saw a lot of things I thought might have been inhumane. But when you look at the big picture, we have to do what is called an assessment. You rather kill 10 people to save 1 million?
There you go.
See, I had to think. I had to do this like this. So when I'm talking, it's not because I heard somebody, but that was me in that position.
Yeah. Yes.
You got a child with a bomb. Do you shoot the child? Of course.
Yes.
So am I wrong? I gotta, God, that's me and my God, you know. But God, I'm saving.
And a lot of social issues are like that now too,
Huh?
like women's in sports and stuff like that.
I don't think a man should be
You know what I mean?
become a woman to participate in sports so they can get a medal and then get money. I don't think that's right.
What in the world are people thinking?
What about the pastor in Texas? He just
The who?
it's a black pastor in Texas from Nigeria, I think. Met a young lady. They dated for a year. They wasn't gonna consummate the marriage. So they got married. Went to the bedroom. Found out she was a man. He shot and killed her in Texas right now.
Killed him?
Killed him. Yep. Which mentally.
What? The minister killed the
transvestite, the man. Yeah. So, and that's a conversation in the church now. Did he go too far? I mean, but you really don't play with people's emotions. That's why I like with Don. You should be able to tell people that ahead of time. I was born a man, so people got you. That's like trickery, fraud.
Total.
What you mean you're not a you? They
Oh my gosh.
I'm doing a paper. They were showing on Facebook now. They were showing a young black guy who told the guy he was dating for 3 years that he was a man, but he got and the guy was going like, what? And all you see was just, you can't play with people's emotions. I like what they're saying about, no more transgender. You got to tell me. I mean, if that's you, but I need to know this. That's why I don't want to date nobody.
You, but when you mess with my life.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah,
You remember when the guy, I got somebody to say they in love with you, and the guy, it was the guy came in. And the guy looked, he didn't talk no more on the show. Went home and killed the same guy on the show. That's why she went off there. Sally Jesse Raphael had a guy come on and say, we got this neighbor of yours that love you, they want to express it to you. He said, okay. They brought a man out.
All right.
The guy who was sitting in the chair, who they told me he thought it was a girl, he just sat there and looked. He had nothing else to say.
Was it trans or no?
No, just straight up guy.
Okay.
And he just said that you could look at him and see that this is not gonna go good. Went back to their hometown and killed the guy when he got home with a shotgun. Because he embarrassed him in national TV. And Sally Jesse Raphael went off the air.
No, I didn't know that's what.
Yeah, I was in the military. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was just total drama to put on.
Yeah, we're going to bring somebody. It was a shock value that went wrong.
Yeah.
It was
back then.
Oh,
I think.
God. Yeah, my brother's in Atlanta. He said, man, you better come get me. I had these two guys approach me, man. I told them I'm not like that, man. But it's overt. Back in the day, they were covert with that.
Yeah,
they kept it in the back room.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Have you
seen that movie Green Book?
What's the name of it?
Green Book.
What's it about?
It's a good one.
Okay.
Really a lot of character. It's about it's a true story. It's based on true story. That's even cooler, right? It's about a guy that is a black gentleman from, I don't know where he's from. If you look it up, Don Shirley is his name. He was a classic pianist. And I don't forget what year it is, but it may be 50s or 60s. And he did shows around and whatnot. And
Like Liberace?
Huh?
Like Liberace?
Yeah. Well, but he hired a guy, a real Italian guy from like, I don't know if it was Boston or, I can't remember exactly.
Oh, yes I did. The black guy driving around.
Yeah.
And the guy, they went around the country playing.
Correct.
I didn't see all that. I forgot
That's
that.
a good one, man. You gotta see that again.
Right.
There's so many character things in there, both from the African American gentleman and the other guy.
Right.
He had, each one had, something to teach the other one, basically.
Right.
Or
culture.
Character stuff, like the black guy, taught a violence thing. He's nothing but violence, and the other guy was like good as his word.
Right.
Towards the guy. I mean, it was beautiful.
Yeah, when they went to jail, yeah. I saw the previews and I didn't get a chance to look at it, but it's.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I saw bits,
it's
snippets.
A good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, when the sheriff said, "Who's this?" Well, he's the guy actually playing the piano.
He's a good one. He's a good one.
Yeah, he's not in the dinosaur movie.
Well.
Yeah.
I don't think it was something. Maybe.
Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of life lessons in there. I think it's just a beautiful. And they were really friends in real life. They kept a friendship, and then they died at the end. You can see where they died within months of each other. Like they got older. And it's just neat. It was a neat thing. I mean, it's hard to watch. To me, it's hard to watch. With you just want to knock some people out. Because back in the day in Alabama, it's not pretty. Yeah, so that's why it's not.
It's still
fun
like
to
that
watch.
some places.
Yeah, it's not fun to watch for that reason. You just want to come through the TV and But it was cool that the white guy was not in his time. He was progressive and it was just neat. As raw as that white guy was, he was in tune to like humanness and it was just
dignity.
Even though it's hard, a couple of those areas, scenes are hard because of what happened, but it was based on true story and
right.
Anyway.
We had a funeral. My brother, I think we buried Cleve about 3 years ago. My brother died, cancer. We buried him about 3 years ago, and at the family we took a group picture. My niece has blonde hair, blue eyes. My nephew has black hair, green eyes, and everybody was looking at the picture. He said, "This is my uncle." That's who? Yeah, that's my nephew. That's my sister's child. And my mother's real mulatto. I'm like, am I adopted or something?
Uh-huh.
And so when you see the complexity of the family at this funeral, and you ought to see the people just like, they mouths open.
Yeah.
That's my niece. Come here.
Uh-huh.
He grew up in our house together. And people just have such a, I guess, a rigid idea.
But 90% of the time that doesn't happen.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was so. We had a diverse neighborhood. Haiti, Jamaican, Bahamian, white, black, all of us went together. We played together. Even though it was in the older days, we went to school. It was kind of segregation. At home, it was integrated, and I had a problem with that. I played sports, and they would cheer me on while I was playing. But when I got off, I had to get home before it got 6 o'clock.
Are you kidding me?
No. I'm 68 this year, in a place called Orlando, Florida, Florida. But they knew my mother. She was a school teacher.
Yeah.
And when they integrated the schools in the 70s, we went to a school, all black school called Apopka. It was called Phyllis Wheatley. We went to a school called Apopka Moore, a big melting pot. It was a social experiment. It worked out. Our school, we won a championship. Everybody got together. Then we started assimilating different viewpoints and culture, and it was great. But we had some hiccups. I was good. I played golf, but I had to quit golf because I had to play football and basketball and baseball, and the coach told me I had to quit. But I liked golf, and it was. I had a diverse background. That's why I can blend with anybody. You can take me anywhere. I don't see color. I see the heart. I was my best roommate in the military was. There's a place called Quinnipiac, Virginia. Uh-huh. His name was Andrew Quillen. And he came to the military because his father wanted him to have discipline, morale, esprit de corps in order to run their company printing press. Yeah. He's still my friend to this day. He became the vice president after he got out of the military. He became the armorer for my recon platoon, which kept our weapons together. He never was around any black people until he came to the military.
Wow.
He ended up being my roommate.
Oh my
so
God.
we,
wow.
Right. I mean, Andrew J. Quillen. Daddy bought his daddy didn't buy him no cars, nothing. He had to get his own stuff, become self-sufficient, because it was a family business. And we just grew up. Then Redowdy came, Birch, everybody. Most of my platoon came out of Florida, so we from the same area hood, but they was different colors. We had Chinese, we had Hawaiian, white, black, and I was the first black in an all-white platoon in the military, 75.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've seen the diversity, the integration. It's just this, man. It's what you learn, and got to make with it. Because when you're out there in that field, it takes everybody to make it to come home. We can't be segregated and go fight a war. We got to be integrated. So we used to go out together when we got back in the barracks, and that's how we got to become a tight unit. Then when death struck our platoon, that's why I say it really tore us to the core. We went from being segregated to integrated to being friends to people dying, and it really affected us in different ways. But my family is, you see my family, but like, that's my family.
Huh. So how is the, last time or the time before you were mentioning, kind of like I asked you about when you get these intrusive thoughts or memories or whatever, and you said you basically distract, but I'm trying to figure out whether you do anything else to, it's almost like, I guess I'm really big on beliefs. I told you before, I'm really big on belief systems and trying to make sure that it's what we walk around believing that is our truth, at least at the moment. And so that's why I've worked a lot with you on this whole sort of, it's almost like survivor guilt or just regular guilt. And you said you're better with that, but I want to really get that to the lowest level we can. I mean, it's never going to be okay, but if a 0 is okay, it's never going to be a 0, but can it be a 1 or 2? Does that make sense? If 0 is no problem whatsoever, like, right, like it's almost like if I caused a car accident and I felt horrible about it, I could probably get to a 0 at some point. Everybody, walked away and everybody was okay, right? But if maybe, but if somebody died, I may never be able to get to a 0, but I might be able to get to a 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
0 to 10, like feeling disturbed about it. If I feel a 10 out of 10 disturbed about it, and a 0 means I'm totally good, I may never get to a 0 because that was maybe a major thing that's happened to my dad or something. But I could get to a 1, which basically means I've got as low as I can go in terms of guilt and this and that. But I mean, it's my dad, so it's not gonna be a 0. Somebody got really hurt, so I'll never get to a 0, but that's as best as I can get. Whereas with other things that people that say they blame themselves for getting robbed because they're in the wrong place or something like that. They could get to a 0. Nobody got hurt, whatever. They got robbed, they gave them money, but they felt whatever bad that they put their friend in that position. They could probably get to a 0, but when you have an injury or something else, you may not, and that's okay. But we want to make sure it's at a 1 or 2 level, not a. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of
sense.
sense.
This is the MDR Likert scale I'm using here. So
what's the scale?
It's like a Likert scale. It's just a 0.
Lickert.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But so where are you with that whole issue that we've sort of been talking about for a few weeks?
Try not to think about it, but it comes.
I know, but if you had to give it a number, because we worked some through it.
Yeah, that it wasn't, probably Captain Hall probably felt a little different than I thought he thought, because we never had closure with him being there.
Right, yeah.
So there was some vagueness about, putting that together to make a plan, but
here's the thing, your best guess of what could have happened is a good chance it did. Because you knew enough about, it's still a mystery maybe, but if you could attempt to say the only thing that seems like it could have happened would be whatever that is probably a pretty educated good guess.
Yeah, I thought maybe one of the officer candidates put that round in there trying to see what it was about.
Say again?
I thought maybe my closest guess would be one of the officer candidates from Pennsylvania we was training put that round into that weapon that led to it being fired by Skigowski, killing Hubbard.
So why would the officer have done
One of their officers. Because
That's
when you first meet them, they're not trained. They're just in college and they're going to school to get.
So why would they bother? Why would they put it in?
Nobody else would have put it in there.
But why would they put it in?
Just to see how it worked. You know what I mean? Because
See how it works.
Remember I said that those rounds for 50 calibers, they come on belts. They're not single. So someone had to get a single round to put in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a belt, which we would have saw the belt.
Why would they put it at that moment when people want to get chips? That's my point. Why then?
They might have. When we got to the range, it was like 7 or something. They had to be there at 6, so they might have tried to put it in. Captain would have came and checked it. Captain Hall.
Okay.
They would have checked it. He might have left. Everything is done. Someone might have. The only way it would have gotten there, someone put it in there. It didn't just magically appear.
Right.
So somebody put it in there.
Yeah.
And the only people could have probably put it in there was the cadets, because
Okay.
nobody in my unit would have done that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we know what they'll do to you.
Yeah. Okay.
So my guess at process elimination couldn't have been Captain Hall
Yeah.
as our commander. Wouldn't have been none of my people in my recon platoon.
Right.
The only other element was the cadets.
There you go.
So I'm thinking that CID, Criminal Investigation Division, out of Quantico, could have probably said, hey, these are the people, so you guys can go home. We never got none of that.
Yeah, that's probably, well then I think that's
But then you don't want to put so much money, the military is like this. I can't put too much money in your training and just kick you out. You got to really do something really, really bad, because I'm wasting money.
Yeah.
They put a lot of money in my training, so
Yeah.
they want to kick me out. They want to keep me. But they don't want to keep me at the expense of making a disaster politically.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that maybe one of the guys from the other place did it, and Captain Hall didn't do
Probably
it.
what happened.
We'll never know because of like 50 of them. So
Yeah, but you've already eliminated everything.
you know what I'm saying? But if you say who I thought would have did it, I'm thinking it might have been them. So I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
good.
I mean,
He's still dead.
I know. I know.
Yeah, that's the only part.
And like we talk a lot about the whole what 1 second, 2 seconds can do, and how it who the heck knows.
Yeah, because it could have been me. You know, when you think about it,
It really- yeah.
it could have been. I was there.
Well, and it could have been no one.
Yeah,
It could
right.
have been no one. It could have gone into the
Right.
air, and it could have been like it could have been a
And the craziest part
It could
about
have
it,
been his arm. It could have been. There's a lot of
Tangibles in it.
second, 1 second thing.
Yeah.
Could have seriously, right? Because that thing's fast, right? So I'm just saying. I just want you to look at. There's not just the possibility of. I mean, there's not just the. Like I said, it's so many other. There's 100 other
different variables could have changed it.
could
Right.
have changed that.
Right. The
in
trajectory of that
moment,
round.
because it is so fast, right? It's so fast, and it, again, graze, taking the arm, taking the shoulder.
I preferred him not to
I'm
have
just-
hit him, but if
I know
anything
what
would
I'm
have
saying,
happened,
we're talking a second or two here.
yeah.
And that wasn't your. Well, it definitely wasn't your fault. And none of it was your fault. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been holding a lot of this, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
even if, let's just say you had missed a step somewhere like that, it's still a few seconds. Like I told you, the girl on this curve, like, she just walked 1 step faster. It's crazy.
Yeah, like the guy with the parachute, just straight to the ground.
Exactly.
You know, but you know, we understand when we go to the military, you know, things can happen, but you just hope it happens to someone else.
Of
And then when it does happen, it's like, oh my God, I could be next. Or that could have been me.
I bet, right.
Those things really come up. That could have been me. Well, I would have been
Make
me.
you more careful.
Very. Yeah, you try to. Well, you be blessed. I hope
Yes,
your allergies work better.
Yes, sir. All right. We'll see you, I guess, next week.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
If not, I'm up in D.C. Come get me.
Oh gosh.
No.
Don't get trapped up there.
No.
Please. Oh my gosh. All right.
I'm just going to
it's
go by the
9 o'clock.
central office. Well, you be blessed, Ms.
Take
Valerie.
care. That's totally off.
What's
Okay.
that?
I'm not. Clocks are off. Okay.
What is?
See you later.
All right, be blessed.
Bye-bye.
Good morning.